Kelly is with us in Baltimore, Maryland. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Oh my gosh, it's such an honor. Thank you for having me.
Our honor,
Um,
too. How can we help?
I am drowning in student loan debt. I have $300,000 in student loans.
Oh, honey.
And yes,
What's your
I am
degree
the
in? Are you a
attorney,
lawyer or a doctor?
a lawyer.
Okay, that's good news. I hope. I hope you got a good lawyer job. You didn't take a job with the state or something.
The government, federal government.
Why?
Work-life balance. So I
Work-life
had a
balance. You got
mental.
$300,000 in debt.
I know. I did have a mental health breakdown back in 2018, and I couldn't find a job, so the government was the first one that came up at the end of 2019, and then the pandemic hit.
Yeah, how much they paying you?
My gross is 89,834.
Okay. How long you been out of law school?
2015.
How you doing with your mental health?
Better. I see a therapist biweekly. That's a part of my budget is that I have to pay my copay for my therapist,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the psychiatrist quarterly. And I take medication.
Good investment. Good investment. Well done.
Thank you.
Sounds like you're doing better.
I am much better, and
Good.
realizing that I gotta get a hold of all of this.
You married?
My why is I'm not married, but I still am with my children's father.
Okay. All right.
How many kids do you have?
3,
What age?
16, 7 going on 8, and 4 going on 5.
All right. Well, you got a mountain to climb here, and so we got to get our climbing gear out. And the hole that you're in is 300,000. The shovel that you have is 90,000. Right?
Yes.
Your income, we call it the shovel to hole ratio. Your income versus the amount of debt you got to climb through. And so I start going, okay, out of 90,000, how quick can I pay off 300? Well, if I pay off 30 a year, that's 10 years. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it's too long. I even tried to work some things out, and I'm like, this feels too long.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I measured like 6 years, and I was like, that's like 5,000 more a month, and I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do try to work on the side. I need to I do probate
Mm-hmm.
and some estate planning, but it just been slow going.
Mm-hmm.
Only 500 there, 500 there.
Mm-hmm.
So now that things are settled a bit after 2018 and the pandemic and everything, are you open to finding a different job that maybe pays a bit more?
I did not think of it. No, I didn't. I am open, but I did not think of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you could probably make 160. You could probably double your income, 170, if you got out there in private practice. And I mean, it might take a little bit of time to get there, but you're not going to get there in the job you're in. And you need a bigger shovel, mathematically. The arithmetic tells us that. Because if you could put 80 on this, you'd be done in 3 or 4 years. But you can't put 80 on it when you make 90.
Right.
You can when you make 180. And yeah, there's going to be some work-life balance, but I'm going to go with some work-life balance. Mom's going to work because mom has a mess, and I'll see you in about 3 years.
Well, and especially if you
Mhm.
make that shovel bigger, then it's less about side hustling and working 80 or 90 hours to
Well, it
try
might
to.
be at a new law firm, a private law
That's
firm.
true.
They might put her in the
That's true.
and lock her on the 5th floor and not let her out. But
But at least you'll have the income there. Like your salary will be a lot stronger
Yeah,
than what it is currently.
here the probability of you getting this mess cleaned up increases the more you can shorten how long the pain is going to be. And so I for your sake, I think you've got to reconsider how you can go make double what you make, or almost double what you make, and throw all the difference at it. Because I mean, does it not sound pretty appealing to be out of debt in 3 or 4 years?
Yes.
I mean,
On top of my
I
other
would give
debt.
up a lot of stuff to do that. I would give up a lot a sacrifice to do that. When we started this company, my kids were your kids' age or younger. And for 3 years, my wife will tell you she was virtually a single mom when we started this company. But if you work like no one else, later you get to work like no one else. And if you live like no one else, later you get to live like no one else. And here's the thing. The amount of time that human beings in America waste in front of the television will really cause you to prosper alone. And you can't call sitting in front of the television work-life balance, because children aren't getting anything out of that except watching mom and dad zone out, watching Netflix and Tiger King. And so, I don't recommend working 80 hours a week and never seeing your children as a way of life. But for a short period of time to get some kind of a needle to move, yeah, hard work never killed anybody. Right before you die, you pass out if you're working hard. So you're not going to die from it.
Well, and good job having the courage to call. You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And you have a huge mountain ahead. But we have seen people pay off $300,000 in debt.
Here's the thing: the looming monster that's 30,000 pounds, 300,000 pound monster here. $300,000 monster. There's a stress and a weight to that Dr. John Deloney, our resident psychologist, says your body feels that weight. It affects your mental health. And so for you to continue the healing, you have to see a way out of that instead of seeing that as this endless rock you have to push up the hill, as in Greek mythology, right? And so, you push the rock up the hill and you get to keep pushing it up the hill for the rest of your life. The weight of that hopelessness affects your mental health. It affects literally your physical body feels that from a mental health perspective, your physiological reactions to the debt. And so, you even if the news is hard, hope that it's going to be over soon. I can deal with the hard news.
Right. Yeah.
The human mind can deal, psyche can deal. So my point is, it's going to help your mental health to have a plan that gets you out.
Right. Yeah, the idea of carrying around $300,000 in student loan debt for the rest of your life, that sounds terrifying. I think anybody would feel that pit in their stomach, and just a rough feeling like that monster is chasing you and it's right there all the time. But yes, there is hope. This is scary right now, but you can tackle this. You can tackle this mountain as hard as it is. I think especially given the career that you're in, given that you can get a bigger shovel and really attack this.
I understand how you got to the career, and I'm not shaming you for that. I would tell you not to stay there, though, because I think it's good for you, good for your finances, good for your kids, good for your mental health, good for your career, for you to go make a big pile of money and get this mess behind you.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm saying all of this. It's not just to get you out of debt, because there's so much more to this picture. And but it's the number of families that we have had with small children that both spouses, the kids ended up at grandma's half the time because they were hustle grind. They're working 2, 3, 4 jobs, and 18, 24, 36 months later, they've cleared all the debt. Now they can work 40-hour jobs the rest of their life and become very, very wealthy. And the kids are not harmed by that because it's not a permanent way of life. We're not working for the wrong reasons. We're working for a short period of time with intensity, with gazelle intensity, for focus, to get it knocked out. That does not harm your children.
No, and those are the best debt-free screams. When we hear them in here just yelling at the top of their lungs that they did it, it is so powerful. And we hope to see you here, Kelly, in a few years.
Amen.